Sir!
So what? Oh, dear. If people only knew the stress. So John Boy, what is in the tank coming up?
It's amazing. It's unreal. So long story short, I have kept the best stuff we have available from the tail end of last year to now. And we've shot some crackers.
What's first?
I can't actually tell you the order because I'm not that good. Like my memory's not amazing. I'll tell you a cracking shot, but I can't tell you what happened yesterday.
He's getting old and senile.
So even though we've been in Northern Ireland all year, we still have stuff from England and the Republic of Ireland, and I guess that's where we're going to get our variety this Christmas. But the crackers that we've shot at home, we've revisited, for example, Townley's,
Yep.
Barnett's, Richard Lilburn.
It's going to be one to please the farmer head, so it is.
I do believe, if we're going to put a date on it, the Christmas Day episode is back with the Cairns team.
See, that's what the story is. That's what the word I've heard. Me or John both haven't seen this one.
The team tell me that this one will make me want to go and part Silage for a year, because it'll be just like back in the day. That's the atmosphere has been captured.
Oh, there's plenty of good vibes about the Cairns episode, so hopefully Christmas Day is going to blow your socks off.
Lift her up there now, lad. You're way too far in the angle. Let's lift her up.
No, you need to go forward a wee bit. I only needed her forward, back an inch there. Forward a wee tiny thigh, just whoa, too far.
Back a wee bit. Make your mind up, man, there.
Well, why don't we talk about something we have been involved with?
So, something we actually were involved in. Well, I'll let you start.
Well, that wasn't the Lilburns, me and Lilburns.
Well, that's not letting you start, but anyway, yes. So Richard Lilburn was in the Ag series, and when we were filming, basically he was setting up a new system, robots, and it just wasn't finished by the time we were done. So we called back with him to see how he got on, what progress he made.
Which brand did he go for?
He ended up going for Fullwood.
Controversial.
It is.
Everywhere I've been to Lely's.
And is it Fullwood? He has actually put in.
I think it is. If I'm feeling you're right. Usually you're right.
It's a good one to see. Finally, you know, if anyone who has seen, if you're not already on, you can go back, check out the last Ag Life series with Richard in it. See the progression on the farm. It's a big change for him, and I suppose his view is future-proofing the farm.
I've been there a few times filming the Ag Life series, and I guess if anything in the yard needed a change, it was the parter. The parter had been was decades old, and you could tell it was holding him back. So I'm sure he's a happier man now.
I would say after about 6 weeks, something clicked in the cows. It was like a light bulb came on, and all of a sudden it went from gathering 60 cows a day to gathering 30 cows a day. And now, like you seen earlier today, there's 3 cows need to go and look at to bring up, and like every day we can see it improving, and we have found the more we stay out from the cows, the better the results are.
For anybody who's watching this on YouTube, Alan is a farmer by trade. That's his main job. So he comes in here and does 40 hours a week for the crack. So he actually works at FarmFLiX. That's a common question we get asked is, what is your job, Alan? He helps us here at FarmFLiX. So if you watch us on YouTube a lot and you haven't picked it up yet, we actually produce videos for a living, as in really high quality episodes, and sometimes we give you the behind the scenes on here. Sometimes we give you your farm, sometimes I might drive my tractor.
But the bottom line is the real stuff is on the main site.
So those are the episodes that we're talking about. You know, that's Richard Lilburn's episode is on FarmFLiX. It's not going to be on here on YouTube. So what else have we done in Northern Ireland? We've done revisits with Cairns, Townley's. That's going to be a strong episode because we're in Northern Ireland and we want to make these things as cracking as we can. I went out and saw James Townley's new combine, so he changed the New Holland combine to a fresh one, brand new, but she's on tracks. So I wanted to see that and get the first impressions out of him for that. And went back to see the Zerian with the new set of triples in the front of her because I wanted to see, just get some more footage in the tank.
Did you get speaking to Mr. Clyde?
Oh, absolutely. I was chatting to Clyde.
God, I know I could watch that man all day. Like, I think he's brilliant.
On the drill, yeah. Oh, he was in top form. I definitely.
Oh, he always seems to be like he's.
And I mean, one year, could be maybe 4 or 5 years ago, going to the church harvest one Sunday morning, and I think that's usually about the middle of October. And I was speaking to the minister before I went in through the door.
Yes.
And he says, "Clyde, have you the harvest rate up yet?" I says, "No." I says, "That's where I'm going whenever I get out of here." Says, "I don't be keeping us too long." So whenever he was doing the sermon and one thing to another, then he had sort of more or less said, "I'm not allowed to keep you too long a day, for there's a man here that's to get this combine." And everybody just looked at me and knew right away who it was.
Clyde was the first man to say to me, GPS, I don't need it, boy. I'll not be driving a tractor the day I need the button to drive my tractor for me. And ever since that, I've been asking everybody their opinions of GPS. And everybody's like, oh, once you get onto it, it's fantastic. You come out of the cab at the end of the day refreshed, and it's amazing. So then I've brought all this back to give Clayton our poke. And he stuck to his guns, still doesn't want to use it. So at the very end of the video, when the cameras have died, he says to me, your opinion there, John, take a look down that line. Like, what do you think there? That as good as the GPS. And the feel is the loveliest wee dish in it. And it just, the trick of your eye, whenever they get the dish, it made the slight bend in the fill. So he wasn't impressed with my answer, put it that way.
Poor man will not sleep after you doing that.
I like to give her a good old stir, as you know, Mr. Clyde.
Oh, he likes doing that, all right. Then
we have a new one from Northern Ireland. So at the start of the season, some of you maybe saw it. I put out a call whenever the COVID thing kicked off, and thought, how are we going to make these videos? Because we can't do the traditional thing we do. Asking for just farmers that put in their own stuff. So we got the call answered, and we ended up meeting Mr. Keith Gawley and his buddies. A tasty classic Fendt on the JF. A Leyland 245, I think it was, on the trailer. Matt Pro pushing in. What was the other one? Carton. I think it was a 6.4 John Deere. But I mean, just a real day's crack. And actually, his own team, this guy, Keith's own team, his staff called him Paul. Have you any idea why they called him Paul, Alan?
I'm guessing, since I've seen a wee clip of him, he's a long-haired warrior, like my brother-in-law.
Really, it's just the beard would be slightly more bushy, I would say, is the biggest difference. So you imagine Paul, that's what Keith looks like. So we had a wild day's crack.
I've seen just a couple of clips from there, but it's going to be close. What should be Christmas #1 like? But
at the end of the day, you can't go wrong with a JF. Who doesn't like listening to a JF humming?
A man with a big 2205.
Well, as it was you said about the size of your harvester, compensating.
Oh, I think that's somebody with their tractor.
Every Leyland must have it. The meat pack and the grinder for silage. So that was done last night. I told him it was a necessity for drawing silage. This is not even my tractor, this is Brian, the other guy that's drawing for me. He's been just so excited to get you guys out, so he has to come over and draw silage. So I said, you come on ahead, my man.
Also in England, we've got a visit with Dan Rennell, a little cameo by his brother Lee. So they operate as a team with fleet of trucks, and at the time we went to see them, it was maize. So they also bought this rather unique machine. I think watching the video back, they said there were 2 of them in the country. It's the Mouse. It would have been a beet loader in a previous life.
Yeah.
Converted for maize. So basically they back the trailers into the hopper. It goes through a series of belts and shimmies, and they can basically work this arm and top out and load an HGV truck. They'd hired in a 9.9 John Deere off a Welsh contractor. They'd hired in 3 Polish Pronar trailers, walking floor trailers, which they quite liked because they were like a slightly narrower body, which meant they were easier to back into their belt. A fun thing to watch. It's always nice to see a machine you've never seen before.
It's a different way of operating for what we're used to over here. Like, it's like trailer in the field out.
The trucks were arriving, they swing in the gate, they come bombing down the field, they swing up round and pull in straight to go out the gate again and below this arm that loads them. you'd be lucky to reverse the trailer off the road over here. So yeah,
It's nice to see just something a bit different from what we were used to anyway.
and for the Scania man, I mean, it's going to tick a box for the Scania man. It's hard to capture that sweet sound that they make, but we'll do our best.
Down south, where were you?
So that was shot this year. I went down to see Cousins Agri in the south of County Wexford. So we were right over beside the sea. Managed to go and see their round balers, and at that stage we were right at the water. So they run like new kit combined with second-hand tractor fleet.
Yeah.
So I guess the price of tractors has gone just that little bit crazy that Pierce thinks it's more
Economical.
efficient or economic or whatever, just to look for that reasonable priced lower tractor and driver on. A fleet of classic fleets scooting about, a couple of 110s in the fleet. One of them was off the road because they were changing a gear selector or something and decided they would pull the cab off and send it up to Cyril Hanna. So anyway, a lot of variety in the visuals there.
Would that be right? Big chaser bin?
Yes, that was actually the reason I went. So the
Thinking of buying one for the 7.8.
that was it. It's a real arable country up here. I mean, Alan alone, I mean, I could justify buying a chaser bin.
Wouldn't matter how many acres there was, the 7.8 wouldn't pull it anyway. I seen the photos of the chaser bins.
I mean, the amount of grain these shifts, I was just too scared to bend the drawbar and the red rock as well. Like, you know, these things happen, you know.
Leave the wee Marshall alone.
So yeah, I mean, it's always nice to get in and see a couple of arable outfits, and that was one of the two that I shot this year, arable wise. And yeah, it's always nice to get into the south and see things how they do a bit differently. And actually, a lot of their game was going for brewers, and I got to learn about that. It's not a simple game, and it's massive premiums of difference in the value of your grain if you manage to get it into the brewer's spec. And you've no idea when that's going to happen until it actually arrives there and gets tested. And like, you've got to organise the haulage of that. And
It's just a bit more different from a fella growing a wee drop between a lot of cattle.
Yes. And probably the strangest thing I learned from him was he says his price of the straw when he goes to sell it is dictated by the price in England.
Right?
Farmers should be buying it by the kilo all day long. All our end users, once you switch them to it, they want to buy it by the kilo. It's the only way to go. There's no more, your bale is too short, your bale is too soft. England dictates our straw price pretty much.
How is that the case?
Because we're trading by the ton.
Surely everything down here not just heading north to us.
No, England controls, believe it or not, it controls the Irish straw price. Well, for me, it controls it anyway.
We've got some strong content, and that, guys, that's only the stuff that's coming from now, Black Friday, through to our deadline on the 24th of January. So if you want to enjoy that over Christmas, if you're stuck indoors and you love farming and you love watching episodes, at the very least take the trial. We have a free trial service. You don't have to, we're not trying to con anybody. You don't have to put your credit card in to get it to work. It's just a case of sticking in the phone number. We don't bill your phone. There's no catches here. It's just good content.
We stand here all day telling you about how great it is. You don't even need to believe us. The free trial is there for you to see for yourself.
Yeah.
Just get your fill in 24 hours.
Yeah. This year the technology is even better because we have upgraded the website. If you're sitting in the living room and you've got Chromecast on your TV, you can throw it there. If you want to see, like, resume from where you previously left off, you can pick it up again. You want to see the list of the things you played, you can do that now. So if you've been on our website before, it has had a major upgrade from when you were last in.
It has been one of the most awkward years for us as a company to pull through it.
Once again, I've said it in the blog before, I'll say it again. My thanks to Alan. He stepped up and carried an Ag Life series for us through this crisis. It gave me somewhere to go with a camera. I'm sure you got plenty of fencing done. Thanks to Alan for doing that. I know a lot of the guys on YouTube here are big fans, Alan.
Oh, like, in reality, John doesn't like upselling the thing, but I can just show my appreciation now by saying the work he's put in throughout the year to keep the show on the road. Not everyone could do it, and it's, you know, FarmFLiX, we aim to always grow bigger and better, and we will, and we are, and that's just, the content sells itself. So again, I think we'll stop trying to talk you into it. We'll let you take the free trial. There's bigger and better things always to come with FarmFLiX, but at the end of the day, we need you guys too, so jump on in and join the clan.
Mate, my shoulders are sore.
What?
Carrying you, mate, carrying you.
Well, how long have you been driving the forager?
Since Wednesday. Thursday to Friday today, isn't it? Yeah, since Wednesday.
Has Clyde drilled any hole yet?
Clyde doesn't like it because it's technology. That's just the way he is, like, that's what he's used to.
Like, sure, you just go there and hit that button. You sit there. Sure, anybody will steal that off the file, like. You know what I mean?
Where will it stop with all this technology, Leslie?
I don't know, I think we're nearly there.
I think it's getting worse.
The day I need the satellite to steer my tractor up the file, I'll let me sitting there.
Well, when did you move into the Valtras?
1999, within a couple of years I was all Valtra, and I'm all Valtra, and I won't change.
I'm not here to make races and, you know, beat records. Like, I'm just here to get the job done and get home without wrecking anything, you know.
Race you, mate. Come on ahead, right? Come on ahead there. If you're racing, you're not gaining too much. But
It was a bit of a whim buy, not a whim buy, but it was a risk buy because there's only two in the country. Little over 100,000 when we bought it.
He doesn't care if he had to give €1 million for one machine. He wouldn't even look inside the machine. If he could see that she could come in there and mow that field in a half an hour, he'd ring the finance man and he'd say, stretch the injection there.
At the time we were doing this, milk price was 33p a litre as well, and everybody was telling us we were mad. You should be building more cow houses.
To milk the whole thing, we would need 5, maybe 6 robots, and that is 600, nearly £700,000. And then you have to build a shed, and you have to have your cows inside, and I think our cows enjoy being out.
I would say it takes a bear stout man and a robot unit in a parlour.
I had a stage, me and Dad would call a wobble, where I said, what did we do? And I was literally sitting down there in tears. I was exhausted. I didn't know how I was going to make it work.
Some men will never sit in them, they're just not interested in robots.
Doggy's very easy to work with. If you cross him, he can be a wee bit sharp, but...
get out of here, oh!
There's nothing to differentiate, you know, a bottle of whiskey or a pint of Guinness, you know, from being Irish versus being English grain. Or...
Do you think that would make a difference to the consumer?
I think it would make a
Guy
difference.
stood in the pub, does he care?
His first 3 pints, probably.
Tunes pumping, you need the tunes pumping.
Guys, I know you love this channel because of Alan Clyde. Well, the good news is, in 2020, in lockdown, we shot a series on his farm. Guys, take the trial, fill your boots, and go and enjoy Alan Clyde.
Let's get ready to FarmFLiX! Do it now.